Hi guys, today we're going to be talking about our lower body nerve glide flow part 2. Continuing on with our lower body nerve mobilization flows, we're going to now switch to a couple of nerves that basically deal with the front of the leg. Last week we looked at the tibial nerve, the peroneal nerve, the sural nerve, which are basically supplying muscles and sensory input for the back portion of the leg, hamstrings, gastroc, etc. So now we want to talk about the quadriceps, the psoas, the adductors, and there's two very simple setups that you can use to actually mobilize these nerves. Now these require a little bit more body control. They also require some props, a chair. All right, so we're going to show you how to do this standing. One of the big challenges here is if your balance is an issue, you need to do it in a place where you can hold on to something, because these are very discrete small movements that we have to make in order to target the nerves. Remember, when we do nerve mobilizations, we want to go slowly. We want to keep the tension very low because, again, you don't know yet how your nerves are going to respond, particularly if you are new to these things. So the question usually is, well, why would I do this? Let me give you some simple examples. If you have knee pain, you should check these out. You just have to make sure that the movement is comfortable for you. If you have problems with quadricep activation, if you are chronically tight through the psoas, the iliacus, your adductors are always tight, lots of different things that we may want to look at. So you want to test something. You can check your hip extension, you can check your lateral lunge, see how your adductor tension is. If you have pain, you can test that. So again, set some kind of baseline so that you know whether or not these drills are effective for you. All right? So the first nerve that we're going to work on is called the femoral nerve. We always start with this one because it is the easiest setup, the easiest one to learn. What I'm going to do, I'm going to be working on my right leg. So I'm going to put my right knee in a padded chair. I say padded, it's very important that this position be comfortable for you, all right? So don't do this in some kind of hard wooden chair. If that's all you have available, put a mat or a rug or a really soft dog or something here that you can use to be comfortable, all right? So as you can see, I have my knee flexed, my foot is resting up on the top of the chair, nice comfortable setup. Now from here, I'm gonna get nice and tall. The next thing that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bend my front leg slightly and I'm going to do a posterior pelvic tilt, all right? So in other words, I'm going to be tilting my pelvis like this. As I do the pelvic tilt, I'm going to feel some increased tension, usually in the quadricep muscle or in the psoas. Now in this position, the next thing that I'm going to do is, while holding that tilt, I'm going to drive my whole body forward slightly. You may have to adjust your foot position based on your level of mobility. So now in this position, again, I'm staying upright, holding the pelvic tilt, pushing forward. Now I'm going to lock myself in this position, and then I'm going to imagine right around my belly button, my navel, that a bar is pressing into my abdomen. So I'm going to roll forward over it, and then I'm going to turn away from this leg and then bend away from this leg. As I do that, I'm going to feel an increase in the stretching sensation, and it may even feel a little bit nervy in the front of your hip or all the way down into the medial side of your knee. That would indicate that you're really getting into the femoral nerve. In the beginning, it will probably just feel like a really intense stretch of your quadricep muscle. As long as you're following the directions and noticing how small these movements are, we should be getting a nice little mobilization in the femoral nerve. So the setup again is this: knee bent, resting on the chair. My femur is staying just in line with my body. I'm not doing anything different. I get tall. I do a posterior pelvic tilt, drive my body forward. Imagine a bar is pushing into my belly button. I round forward over it, rotate away from the leg, side bend away from the leg. And from here, I can use rotation or flexion to mobilize the nerve. Super simple, all right? That's femoral nerve. Next, we're gonna go to the obturator nerve. It is exactly the same. The only difference is I now need to slide out to the side because I want to get my adductors under some tension. So, same idea, same basic setup. I'm just gonna be into a lunging position. Again, get tall, posterior pelvic tilt, drive the body forward, bar comes into the navel, round down, rotate away, tilt away. When you do this one correctly, you'll feel an increased stretch in the adductors. This is again for the obturator nerve. In both these situations, we can drive or mobilize the nerve through spinal movements or through pelvis movements. It just depends on your level of motor control. So again, like I said, these are a little bit more challenging because they require you to have good control of the pelvis. But the big key here to make these effective is small movements, and once you have attained like the posterior pelvic tilt or the forward body position, you have to freeze that and then add in the discrete lumbar movement. So you have to just, again, go very sequentially. Don't try to do it all at once. I've taught this to thousands of people around the world. The number one problem is people see the position and they try to go into the position all at the same time. That almost never works. It needs to be step by step, done very sequentially, because you may find for yourself that simply getting in the position, doing a posterior pelvic tilt, takes you to that 3 out of 10 level. So if that's the case, you're done. You don't keep adding additional stuff to it. And this is always the rule that we use whenever we're doing these initial neuromechanic drills. So that's it. That's the femoral and obturator nerve glides. There are some more for the lower body, but between last week's blog and this week, these are the major ones that you're going to find yourself needing on a daily basis, again, to improve mechanics and performance of the lower body. So good luck with it. Let us know if you have any questions.
All right.
Continuing on with some of our, let me try that again, because continuing on, I don't know what I just said, so we'll count that down.
No more of that.
Slowly. Okay.
All right. Still rolling, making magic still.